That being said, today's episode is brought to you by the good people over at DraftKings. You know, the leaders in sports booking. Not only are they safe, but they are secure and deep. Most importantly, they're reliable. We love reliability. We love that. And
you have to.
I mean, and not just that, you know, we got action for you, for all those first time people out there. You know, we got to have a promo code. Trina tells you all the time, right? Promo code. Use the promo code MOATS. If you use that promo code every single time, you will be fine. But for all the new users, when you use the promo code MOATS, you will get up to $1,000 in deposit bonus money. It's an awesome concept. You put money in, they match it. Just make sure you use the promo code MOATS, but only on your first time. All right. But with that being said, man, major love to them. But more importantly, Deke, as we said before, some people have gambling problems.
Sure.
Some people struggle with their ability to say no or to say yes. And when you have that, this is what you need to look at. This disclaimer right here. I said, if you or you know somebody who has a gambling problem, crisis counselor, or referral services, you just call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-GAMBLER. That's what you call. That's what you call. That's what you call. But Steelers, Bears. Start with the 3 things that we like, and y'all let us know in the chat as well. 3 things that you like about this Bears team. All right. For me, though, tight ends. I like their tight ends a lot. Was it Cole Kmet, Jesse James? Shout out to Jesse.
He's a key target.
Absolutely. Since he's come back, man. I mean, he's scored last week. He's just a consistent player. We saw him in the preseason as well. He missed some time early on with injury, but him and Cole Kmet, man, I like them a lot. Wish Jimmy Graham was back, but he's unavailable, so it's like that sometimes. But tight ends are the first thing I like. The second thing I like is their defense when healthy. When their defense is healthy, man, I think that they're a really good defense across the board. They have high-end talent. You talk about a guy like Khalil Mack. Obviously, we like, Akeem up in the inside in the middle, man, big time playmaker. And then in the secondary, you talk about a guy like Eddie Jackson. Yep. You talk about I'm drawing a blank on the other guy's name real quick. God, dog, it happens. But either way, like, to me, I just feel like across the board, their defense has the depth that you want. It has the playmaking that you want, and they just have the piece that you want in terms of some of the high end talent. The guy that I was thinking about was Sean Gibson. That's who it was. But to me, I just think like across the board, and when we talk about that defense, Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn. Those are my 2 guys that I really like a lot for them, man. Yeah, and then the last thing, man, is Justin Fields. Yeah. In the midst of the chaotic offense that they have had and how just wacky it's looked at time, he finds ways to make negative plays good plays, especially by using his legs. That's something that Terrence had alluded to as well. That's the other part. I think with Fields, I like that. That's that third part for me right now.
Okay. So my 3. Going off the reservation a little bit with this first one.
I kind of like when you go off the reservation, though.
I have that they beat decent teams. Mm-hmm. Kept it close with the Packers.
They actually have. It's weird, right?
They kept it close with the Packers even. So, yeah, they beat the Bengals and they beat the Raiders. My point in that, I'm not concerned about this game. I'm not. I don't even think, they're an average team, in my opinion, to potentially below average with some of those injuries. Yeah. But they could kind of hang with anyone. I think the Tampa Bay Bucks game was a little bit more of an outlier. That just got ugly really quick, and there was no momentum in the Bears' favor. So how do I want to word it? Yeah, they beat decent teams. I just think they could pose a match to pretty much any team in the NFL, depending on the given Sunday. So I'll throw that out there to them. Because I don't think they're a playoff team or anything.
I would agree, yeah.
But I think they can compete any given Sunday. They call it that for a reason. I'm with you. Justin Fields, I think his best game was actually last week. He's been able to keep them a little bit afloat on offense. Mm-hmm. They don't really have anyone dynamic. It's hard to say. Allen Robinson is obviously really good. They don't feature him.
But they don't feature him, yeah.
They don't feature him.
Marquise Goodwin, shout out to my homie, but he's a guy who could take a top off of defense, but they don't really use him like that either.
It feels like Mooney's his top target. And then
tight ends.
Right, exactly. I'm going to say Fields. He's had some struggles, but I think he could pose a threat to the Steelers defense with his scrambling and playmaking ability. And he could throw the ball too. Like he's got a pretty good arm.
Man.
And then
good accuracy with it as well.
And then last, I'm kind of with you on the defense, I kind of just want to say Khalil Mack, though, because Khalil Mack's a beast. I just don't know. You're right. Who's healthy, who's not.
Because Khalil said he didn't play last game. He's dealing with a foot injury. Their practice report should be out by now. Let me look it up. Because I was looking earlier. They're an hour behind us, so that was my issue. I was checking at like 4, and I'm like, they're probably still out there.
You're right.
They're not done just yet.
Let me check.
So, yeah.
Would it be? It might be on the Steelers. Like
I would
main
either check
site.
the Steelers or I would go ESPN because sometimes they'll have it up there as well.
Okay, you want me to go through Steelers real quick?
Check them first.
You know what? This is saying week 8 though.
Yeah, so they haven't updated theirs yet.
Wow, what is going on with this? I'll check the Bears. Are you talking about Twitter? I'll Google search. Hold on, here it is.
Get us right. Come on, Deke. This is what you on the payroll for, man. This and a bunch of other things.
No, they don't have.
Find it, Deke.
They don't have week 8 even on the Bears main website.
Find it. Make it right. Do something.
I'm
for
sorry.
all the John Q fans out there, right?
I'm sorry. I'll just say Khalil Mack if he plays this game.
I just went to ESPN. He's listed as questionable right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't have a full practice report, but Khalil Mack and Eddie Jackson are questionable on defense.
He got hurt last game.
Yep, and then on offense, just Damian Williams, one of their running backs, he's listed as questionable as well. But other than that, everybody else looks to be healthy.
Yeah. So their defense, I do think they're getting a little overhyped for the Bears defense moniker, especially that they were actually pretty good on defense like back, what was it, like 2017, 2018.
When Khalil first got there.
Like now, it feels like they're an average defense to below average defense. I just feel that way about their whole team, but Khalil Mack obviously still having a really good year.
He's at
despite the injuries, 6.5 sacks. Yeah. So I'll stick with him. But you're right. They do have other nice pieces like Eddie Jackson, but is he going to be playing or not? So I'll just say Khalil Mack. I was thinking tight ends too. What's his face? The second dude, Cole Kmet.
Yeah.
I think he's dropped a few too many though.
No, he has. I
was even thinking running back though, but he's had a good little run.
I like Khalil Herbert, man.
But those are my main 3. Those are my Khalil Mack, Fields, and that. They've stayed afloat and have actually beat some decent teams.
And I respect that. All right, let's see what the chat said. All right, well, man, first I got distracted. Nick Y says he ordered the new Upper Room shirt. You know, the one we just revealed the other day, man. YouTube still hasn't adjusted and updated just yet, so I cannot show you it on the page just yet. Just know, though, if you go to the World of Art the Most, right on Teesprings, you click any of our videos where the shirts are. If you go up there, you're going to see it's a new long sleeve Room shirt. It's dope concept, man. I definitely recommend you check it out. Once again, I'll make sure that the link is in the description box as well for the video, man. But you definitely want to check that out. I might start doing something cool with y'all too, man, in terms of posting some pictures. If y'all got pictures of yourselves, we might start doing that. Just hold off though, but I'll give you an announcement when it's time for that. All right. But looking at what people are saying in terms of what they like about the Bears and what they don't like. BMW_Benji talks about their run defense. He says he likes that. Quan Black brought up Darnell Mooney. Also says that he has him in fantasy. Rod Dollar says, shout out to Rod Dollar as well, man. We appreciate you always being here. He says, number 1, he likes the QB. Number 2, the D line. And number 3, the tight ends. Darius Mayo says the running back core when healthy. Talking about Montgomery.
Even Montgomery.
Because Montgomery's on IR right now. Brought up the defense. And then he also says Allen Robinson is the 3rd. Okay.
Yeah, he should be on the list, but they just don't use him.
They don't.
That's why he wants out.
All right. Let me see who else we got. Yeah, I'm seeing Khalil Herbert again. Shout out to Quan Black. He really like that boy Khalil Herbert. I like him too, man. I ain't gonna fake. He's a good player.
Yeah, he's been doing pretty decent. He has been doing pretty decent for them.
I like that. All right. Now getting to what we don't like about this team. Well, he sounds hideous. For me, first off, man, can I say the offense as a whole?
Yeah.
I do not like
I agree with you.
Oh my gosh. Like I watched the offense, I'm just like, are y'all like they don't have an identity, first off.
Right.
Then it's like part of it, I feel I can't tell if they're trying to not open the offense up completely for Justin Fields, but then at the same time, I see him ad-lib and make it look exciting. But I'm like, that's not a called play. That's just Justin being Justin, which is great. And that's why he is who he is and why he got drafted. But to me, I'm just like, I just don't like the offense. You got success running the ball, but they don't want to commit to it. You got Justin Fields, who is a great athlete as well, but they don't even utilize him with design run plays. Like, that's the part that's crazy to me.
And then you're not featuring Allen Robinson.
Exactly. You don't really feature the tight ends. Like, he's starting to hit them more now, but they haven't been the focal points. So for me, like I said, just the offense as a whole, I'm just not a fan of that right now.
I'm with you.
Then the next thing, sticking to the offensive side of the ball, that O-line. Now, I told y'all, ladies and gentlemen, it was going to be a week. Ooh, it was going to be a week where we said, yo, I like our O-line a lot. A lot. This that week, bro. This that week. I've been waiting for this week for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. We got an O-line that is worse than ours, ladies and gentlemen. And I can't wait to explain it. Let's go. So, yes, I don't like their O-line. And then the last thing is, because I'm a Khalil Mack fan, I don't like the fact that he's not healthy. Because I like healthy
injuries.
Khalil
You
Mack.
could say that. I've said that before.
Yeah. So I have just the health of that team. Because we talked about guys like Montgomery being out. We talk about Khalil being out. Eddie Jackson dealing with, it turns to be a question. Well, like Jimmy Graham injured. You know what I mean? Like when I think of that, I'm just like, I don't like where they are with some of these key pieces, because this is a team that not necessarily similar to us, but in the terms of their margin of error, it is like ours, where it's very small. We can't afford to lose a TJ Watt, right? They can't afford to lose a Khalil Mack. When I think of, can we afford to lose a Minkah Fitzpatrick? Nah, they can't afford to lose Eddie Jackson either. You know what I mean? So when I see their health and some of the key players that are injured or missing, to me, I'm just like, that's a little bit too significant for me to like. So that's what I don't like. But in the chat, let us know what y'all don't like as well. I totally forgot to say that earlier, but let us know what you don't like about this Bears team.
Well, mine's very similar to what you said at the beginning, just offense as a whole, because I just have they're not dynamic at the skill positions. They do have Robinson, but I already mentioned they don't feature him. Darnell Mooney's like your top guy. Tight ends, yeah, I like them for security purposes, but still, you don't have Jimmy Graham in his prime. You don't have like a Pat Freiermuth that we have here that's making dynamic plays. The only guy really is Justin Fields. Yeah. They don't really have that in the skill positions. It's just like a blah offense to me. Yeah. Granted, Herbert's been doing good. I'm not betting the bank on him.
But they still don't commit to him enough for me, though. When I see them, I'm like, man, Herbert looks like he's having success, especially the previous game.
He's had success these last few games.
Yeah, I was going to say, because he had success versus Tampa. He went over 100 versus Tampa.
Oh. No, you know what? Last game he struggled a little bit. Those rushing yards they had was a lot of Justin Fields. He had like 70 on the ground, but 3 yards per carry.
I know Fields what Fields did. I'm not talking about the team as a whole. I'm just talking about like when you watch Herbert.
He had good moments against the 49ers. Runs.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't care about like his statistics. I know the Bucs game was where he went over like 100 yards and stuff like that. But when you watch him run, they get good yardage when they run them. But it's like they don't really commit to it enough, though. Kind of like we talked about with Cleveland last week. Almost like they got away from it, right? You know that you're having success running, but they don't want to keep doing it. That's where I'm just like, I don't like this offense. It's just weird.
They've had some kind of like us, bad penalties that stall out drives, though, too. So I'm with you on there, kind of like the offensive whole. I just don't really think they're that dynamic. It just feels blah to me.
Yeah.
Unfortunate timing. How do I want to describe this?
We hot at the right time. They not at the right time.
No. Here, let me throw out the scenario.
Color Rush Monday Night 7.
Like Bears defense last week against the 49ers. There's a 3rd and 20. 49ers score a touchdown on it.
They did, yeah.
Not just the first down on a screen pass to Deebo Samuel. Yeah. Or was it Ayuk? I can't remember. It was one of them two.
I thought it was Deebo, but he didn't. They ruled it back. They caught him at like the 1. I know exact play you're talking about.
Yeah, it was a touchdown. Yeah, they rolled it back to the 1 yard line.
And I was pissed because the linebacker, he tried to backdoor it. If the linebacker goes over top, man, it's a dead play.
Because I thought their defense as a whole actually kind of played pretty decent in that game. Yeah. They gave up some yards on the ground, but then there was also another play. I think it was right before half, where there's a streak across the middle, 50-yard bomb. There's like 20 seconds left. Yeah. And they give it up. It's like that's the one thing you can't give up. And they go down and spike
Jimmy G. Jimmy G running that thing, man. He had a couple of them things. I was like, yo, what is this?
Yeah, so how do I want to say that? They're not playing. How do you is untimely mistakes?
Yeah, you can say that.
I could say that. There's got to be a better football phrase.
You can say whatever you want to say, bro.
I'll stick with that though. Yeah. There's got to be a better football phrase though.
Well, we just say mental errors, maybe. You want to go that route?
Maybe, sure. Yeah, I guess.
Blown coverages, mistakes at the wrong time.
There it is.
Yeah,
mistakes at the wrong time. I like that better. You can have a mistake,
but it can't be at the wrong time.
I like that better. Because I thought they played a decent game against the 49ers. It was just bad. But then also I got ball security. I think the receivers have dropped the ball way too many times. I mainly watched the last 2 games. I've seen drops left and right, drops that lead to interceptions. Also, Justin Fields fumbling the ball.
Yeah.
Even when he's like going
He's
out of bounds.
loose with it.
Yeah, even when he's going out of bounds, I noticed in the
Ton of
49ers
times.
game, they hit his arm, but luckily the ball went OB.
Yeah. Because they had Fields down for 2 fumbles in that game, and he had 3 versus the Bucks the week prior to that. Literally every game, let's see. He's had a fumble the Bengals game. He had a fumble the Lions game. He had a fumble the Raiders game. He had 3 versus the Bucks, and then 2 fumbles last week against the Niners. Yeah.
So there's that.
And then if we want to go interceptions as well.
Yeah, I'm talking, and then picks too.
Had an interception that Bengals game, had an interception that Lions game, interception Packers game, 3 picks that Bucks game, and then 1 pick against the Niners.
And that's the thing. Not all the picks are completely on him. They've hit the receiver's hands, but that's also my point. Ball security as a whole, because these receivers are dropping the ball.
Yeah.
They almost had a chance to come back in that 49ers game. He threw up a bomb. I think it was the Mooney.
Yeah,
it was one of those Claypool plays. It's like, bro, you got to come down with that.
If you want to be the man, you got to catch that. And that ended up being a pick. That was the Norman one.
It was, yeah. But there was I think there was 1 or 2 like that in the Bucks game too. Yeah. So Fields with the picks, his fumbles, but also receivers dropping the ball. I think even they almost put it on the ground with their running back last game too. So ball security is an issue for them, which should be a positive for us.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what the chat said. Oh, Nick Y. Matt Nagy. Yes, you can. Yeah. I was trying to avoid dropping the Nagy on us, but you know what? Yes. Matt Nagy, number 2, he says offense. Number 3, game plan. That kind of goes with what you were saying as well. All right. John Easton says the coach, the GM, and the O-line. Yikes. All right. I can dig it. Zachary Yepes, he got a little Cincinnati in him still. He says Andy Dalton is what he doesn't like. I can understand it. All right. Tyree McClendon says Matt Nagy, the linebackers. Oh, and drop balls in key moments. Now, the linebackers, I like the linebackers.
Yeah.
I don't love them, but like Roquan, I like his game a lot, man. I think that he is a bona fide, just tackle machine. He's a downhill guy. And I like how they don't really put him in coverage like that versus tight ends. They protect him. He gets the running backs, but he does a good job eating up the space. I like his game a lot. Ogletree, not as much, but he has the tougher job because he's the one who has to do more of those like crazy coverage spots. The thing that I don't like about either one of them, though, they backdoor so much that we talked about kind of with Devin Bush. We were saying like, hey, man, sometimes you got to take the path that's going to be tough where you got to fight over top of some of these linemen that are climbing up. On that screenplay, I think it was Ogletree. He tries to backdoor one of the linemen, gets caught, and now that play is out the gate. A couple of the plays where they were gashed on by the Niners happened with Roquan backdooring stuff. As a linebacker, you got to know when you can do it and when you can't, because when you go backdooring, you're not right. It's a gaping hole. And for Chicago, man, they do it too frequently for my liking. I mean, I'm like, hey, every once in a while, cool, but that can't be like your first line of, oh, okay, he's here, I'm gonna go around it. Like, that can't be it.
Right.